It's time, once again, for your favorite pro wrestling opinion show, Jag's Jabs. Now, I am Jefferson Alonzo Greene, aka The Jag, and today I'm jabbing at AEW because I'm afraid of what they're gonna do with Brian Cage. Yeah, I said it. I love me some Brian Cage. Brian Cage, I've met him a few times. We've had some great conversations. He's an awesome dude. He's an awesome wrestler. He is prolific and gifted. And when I heard the rumor months ago that he was signing with AEW, I was like, finally, hell yeah, they're getting a big man. They're getting a legitimately big, strong, intimidating wrestler, because you've heard them called all petite wrestling. A lot of their guys are smaller, and so I was excited that Brian Cage was rumored to be heading to AEW, but now that it's a fact, I'm worried. Why am I worried? Well, let's talk about how AEW books big men, shall we? We got Jake Hagar, an MMA badass apparently, okay? A guy who is a legitimate fighter, has legitimate fight cred, octagon cred, street cred, whatever you want to call it. And then they go and feed him to lukewarm Steve Austin, to freaking Jon Moxley, the wannabe Stone Cold knockoff, the guy who won't sell to save his soul, who won't stay down and has the longest, stupidest promos this side of the Mississippi. However, Hagar, a guy who's a legitimate cage fighter, gets beaten by Moxley, a guy who's not only smaller than him, but who has no fighting background. Jake Hagar got jobbed. All right, now let's talk about guy number 2, Brody Lee. Huge guy, great credibility from previous, runs in Ring of Honor and WWE. He's huge, he's strong, and he's the exalted one. He's the head honcho of their faction that for some reason they keep going even though the people hate it. And what happens to Brody Lee? He gets fed to lukewarm Steve Austin as well. He gets beaten again just this past Sunday on pay-per-view. Brody Lee gets beaten to Jon Moxley. So we have two huge, intimidating, strong, powerful guys, and they both get beaten by I don't like Moxley if you can't tell, but they both get beaten by Jon Moxley. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's, was great in the CZW deathmatch days, but the guy just does not impress me in the ring. He sure as hell doesn't impress me on the microphone, and I feel like he's doing a really bad Steve Austin impression. However, Brody Lee, Jake Hagar, both jobbed to Mr. Moxley, but now let's talk about someone else. Let's talk about Lance Archer. If you watch Make Me a Fan, you know that we are huge fans of Lance Archer. Lance Archer is amazing. He is prolific and gifted. The guy was on this upward trajectory. He had Jake the Snake Roberts in his corner, for Christ's sakes. Had an amazing feud leading up to the TNT Championship match, where this monster, this heel, this bad guy is going to face the number one face in the company, Mr. Cody Rhodes. And all I can think is, hell yeah, Lance Archer is going to win. As a matter of fact, I made a Jag's Jab saying that Lance Archer must win the TNT Championship. And what do these clowns do? Cody beats Lance Archer for the 1, the 2, and the 3 like it's nothing. And where the hell does Lance Archer go from here? I'm serious. Let me know in the comments, where does Lance Archer go from here? At least Jake Hagar has the Inner Circle. At least Brody Lee has the freaking Dark Order. They can try to come back, or I don't know, have a rematch. Who knows? But what the hell does Lance Archer do now? All this build for nothing. And that brings me to my boy, the homie, local SoCal dude, one of the first wrestlers I ever met when I came back to wrestling last year, Brian freaking Cage, the Machine. Mr. GMSI, get my stuff in. He is the most amazing dude, and I can't tell you enough how much I'm rooting for him and how excited I was to hear that he had signed this deal. I want nothing but good things for him and his family, but damn it, like I said, I'm worried. I'm worried because he now has a match with, guess who? Lukewarm Steve Austin, Jon Moxley. He's the wood chipper of AEW. You take a big guy that should have a push and have presence and kick all kinds of butt, and you feed him through the Jon Moxley wood chipper and spit him out into nothingville, okay? We've seen it already twice. Jake Hagar, Brody Lee, guess who's on deck? Brian freaking Cage. And that makes me freaking nervous, because aside from Wardlow, who I think is awesome, he got beaten by Cody as well, but he still has some presence and he's still kicking butt by being the enforcer and the bodyguard for MJF. So Wardlow's still kind of in there a little bit, but again, he got beaten. Then you have Luchasaurus, who I love from bar wrestling and being a local guy. Luchasaurus is awesome, but he's in a tag team with two very small guys, and for whatever reason, he's not getting pushed as a single. Maybe they'll do that down the road, who knows, but Luchasaurus is kind of stuck in obscurity. I mean, are they punishing the big guys for being big? You got Lance Archer who comes in, he beats up on small children. Next thing you know, he's getting pinned by Cody and losing the TNT Championship. You got Brody Lee who comes in with all this fanfare. He gets beaten down by Jon Moxley. And you got freaking Jake Hagar, MMA badass, who comes in and gets beaten by Jon Moxley as well. What did these guys do wrong? I mean, Brian Cage doesn't even have the WWE recognition that Brody Lee did. He doesn't have the WWE recognition that Jake Hagar had, so I have no hope for any reason that freaking Stone Cold freaking Jon Moxley is going to lose to Brian Cage. I like that they paired him up with Taz, but I don't know, man. I'm hoping. I got my fingers crossed. Come on, Brian Cage. Beat Jon Moxley. Please win the championship and be treated with the respect that you deserve. However, I don't think it's going to happen because AEW's track record when it comes to big men sucks. But I want to know what you think. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know at AKA The Jag on all social media channels. Make sure you hit us up at MakeMeAFan316 on social media as well. But right down here, right below that subscribe button that you definitely should be pressing right about now. And hit the thumbs up if you agree. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. That's okay. I'm good with whatever reaction, long as you're reacting. But put it in the comments. Do you think? Do you believe? Do you trust? Do you have hope that Brian Cage is going to be done right and booked properly and actually be booked as a big man, as a freaking machine, as the machine he is in AEW? Or are they going to do him dirty like they did Jake Hagar, like they did Brody Lee, like they did Lance Archer, like they've done to Wardlow? Or is he going to just be off in obscurity like Luchasaurus? Now, I know even in obscurity and even in defeat, them checks clear. So, hey, it's all good. I ain't mad at them for the way they're treating the wrestlers. The guys are paid well. They're taken care of. Their health, whatever. I think it's a fantastic move for any wrestler in the world, but the booking sucks. And that's going to do it for Jags Jabs today. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next time.